What is Footsies? No, not that kind of Footsies. I mean Footsies. Footsies is a fighting game terminology that has been around for decades. Before we dive into the meaning of Footsies, it's important to understand the neutral game. The pace of a match could change pretty fast. Sometimes you will have the advantage. Other times you will be at a disadvantage. Neutral is the calm before the storm, when neither player has the high ground. At the start of the match, players find themselves mid-screen. This is when both players approach each other while doing this back and forth motion. During this motion, pay attention to what your opponent does. Are they using attacks to keep you away, or are they jumping? Will your opponent use Drive Rush to get in, or will they use Drive Impact? Asking yourself these questions will help you predict what your opponent does next, allowing you to control space. Control space by positioning yourself to land attacks while avoiding your opponents. Spacing is putting yourself at a good range for your attacks. Some attacks that would be punishable on block will be safe if spaced correctly. Control space with pokes or with special moves like projectiles. Hitting your opponent with a single attack from a safe distance is called a poke. Every attack has a recovery window. Some moves will be safe and some moves will be unsafe. During this time, your opponent is vulnerable and they cannot block until they have recovered. While your opponent is recovering, it's your turn to hit the opponent. If your opponent recovers before you, then it's their turn. It's important to know the range and speed of your character's common moves. Not knowing the range of your attack will give your opponent the opportunity for a whiff punish. Missing an attack is called a whiff. Hitting your opponent's limb while they are recovering is called a whiff punish. In Street Fighter, jumping is risky since you are unable to block while in the air. If the opponent jumps, you can anti-air with crouching heavy punch or DP. Think of neutral as a game of rock, paper, scissors. Rock is waiting for your opponent to make a mistake, like whiff punishing or punishing an unsafe attack. Paper is going on the offensive, hitting your opponent while they are waiting for you. Scissors is preempting an attack using your attacks to cover space. Old school fighting games, such as Street Fighter 2 Turbo, would use crouching kick attacks to catch their opponent's feet as they are walking around, hence the name Footsies. It's a fighting game terminology that usually means controlling the space in front of you while threatening your opponent's space with attacks or special moves. The goal is to force the opponent into making a mistake and to take control of their space. It takes years to be good at Footsies, but one will never be able to master it since there's always room to grow. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please comment below if you found this helpful and if you have any questions. I recommend to watch this video here for the next episode. See you in the next one.